It's a big blow because it's the top end of the entry gone. The pinnacle part of the event was the British Rally Championship and the FIA Celtic Rally Trophy, which really relies on the entries coming through from the British Championship part of the event. So it's the very top end of the event that's gone, effectively, been ripped away for next year, and that leaves the event, lacking that crown jewel status, if you like, at the top end.
What's happened then in the last week or so? Because when we spoke to the BRC just over a week ago, they were saying that we are looking to, chat with the organisers and see what can happen.
I suspect that really Rally Isle of Man was almost doomed, if you like, from last year's event, from the 2017 event that didn't go down well with the BRC organisers or the BRC competitors. At that point, they left here very disappointed with the way the event had run. There were a lot of issues with the event last year, a lot of delays. There was a near driver revolt at one point on one stage on the Friday night where the drivers had been sat at the start of a stage with cold brakes and cold tyres for over an hour, and the organisers instructed them to start the stage in those conditions. Frederick Arlen, the championship leader, spun in that stage and effectively lost the championship there, and he was heavily critical of the event organisers as a result. That fed back through the media and the UK motoring press, and it really just built from there. And I suspect there's certainly rumours at that point that the British Rally Championship were even looking at trying to get rid of the event for this year, but they'd already published the calendar at that point. The event was due to form part of it. We were due to be rallying today, forming part of that event for this year. And now here we are, a year on down the road. The cancellation is the final death knell.
Well, yes, I mean, the final nail in the coffin, I suppose. Do you think, again, that they looked at those supposed organisational problems again this year that were had and thought, enough's enough?
I think as soon as in mid-July the issues came, and I'm sure the organisers of Rally Isle of Man will have been in almost daily contact with the organisers of the British Rally Championship and the FIA Celtic Trophy. I'm sure that, and probably the Historic Championship as well, just keeping them abreast of the situation. But when those issues arose in July with the attempted Tynwald motion, all the alarm bells started ringing at that point. And I'm sure if you're a championship manager looking on, you're thinking, they've had a year to address the problems. Here we are, 6-7 weeks before we need to be doing an event, and the same problems seem to be there. So at that point, it becomes a very easy decision to make.
Do you think that's it for the event now?
I don't think that's it for the event particularly. We were in this situation in 2012 when we brought the event back after it missed 2011, and it was outside of the championships then, and we brought it back to get it up and running. We teamed up with one of the other motor clubs on the Island Druidale Motor Club and used their Duke Stages event that had been running as a single day event, expanded that into what became the 3-day Rally Isle of Man when we took that back to where it had been before that year out. So we have done that rebuilding fairly recently, and it would be a case of doing it all over again. But there's been a far more substantial loss of confidence from all the necessary stakeholders this time. A lot more loss of confidence. You see all the outcry on social media, and from the hoteliers and everybody involved that's needed to put the event on. And so the rebuilding process this time will be far bigger.